hello everyone. This is Get Smart with Art. Mrs. Cook, it's me. And we're going to talk about art. So let's get cooking. So, what do you think so far? This isn't really it. Okay, what this is, and I'm going to flip it over in a minute, not now. I want to tell you a little bit about the artist. His name was Juan Miró, and he was from Spain, and he painted this painting, which I'm going to show you on the other side in a minute, called People, Dog in the Sun. So, let's go ahead and just take a peek. Okay, ready? Here it is. Actually, he painted it to go like this. Let me get it on there right. There we go. So, what do you think? It's different, isn't it? People, dog, in the sun. Well, let's see if we can talk about this. But first, before we do, I always like to ask myself and others, do you like it? Because you know what? You don't have to. This is art. You don't have to like everything that you see. Maybe you look at this and you say, I hate those colors. I'd make all the reds orange, and maybe I wouldn't have any black in it. And maybe I would make my painting look a little bit more like it was real. Well, this is not. This is called art style of Surrealism. Surrealism means basically not real. Well, we can see that, right? It's kind of like dreamlike, like what you would see in maybe a dream. Okay, maybe a happy dream, or a scary dream. But I think this one reminds me of. It gives me certain feelings of silliness. And being silly is kind of fun. So I think this is kind of reminds me of something that's kind of fun. And people, dog in the sun is kind of a fun thing to do. So I think that this is kind of a fun painting. So surrealism, in this painting in particular, uses a lot of shapes that are called abstract. And abstract means things that kind of look real, but not really. So let's see if we can pick out people, dog, and the sun. What do you see here? Well, I'm thinking that's the sun part. Because of this shape, which is obviously a circle, and it's round, like the sun, or a lot of times like we paint the sun, and it's red. It's red. Red reminds me of hot, something hot. So I could even say that maybe this is people, dog in the sun on a summer day. Okay, now let's see if we can find the people. Well, look at this. Right next to the sun is kind of a circle, which is kind of like a person's head. Maybe this is the person's hair with lots of gel, and here's maybe eyes and a nose. So maybe this is one person. Now, look at this. This is a circle, and this is kind of have the same eyes and the same nose, but this got kind of like maybe hair growing out of his ears. We don't know. But this could be a person, but he seems to be upside down. Now, let's see, what about the dog part? Well, that's tricky. Well, here's a curl here. This could maybe be a dog's tail, okay, with a very small head. Or I was even thinking, here's another curl right here, and this kind of looks like eyes and maybe a mouth, and this could be teeth, this could be an upside down dog. And maybe this could be a person holding an upside down dog. So maybe the people were walking in the sun with the dog, and the dog tripped the people, and that's why he went upside down. Maybe. Maybe not. Well, we can't ask Moreau, he's not here. So we'll just pretend that that's the story. That's the story I see. Maybe you see something different, and that's kind of fun. Okay, well, artists are kind of like magicians, okay? They want us to see things first and make our eyes move all around the canvas because they spent a lot of time making this. It might not look like it sometimes, but they did spend a lot of time making this. So let's pretend, okay, that we've never seen this painting before, okay? So I'm going to turn it back over, and we're going to just forget about that we have seen it. And then when I flip it back over, we're going to talk about what maybe you see first, and then how the artist made our eyes look around the whole entire composition. So let's talk about something else for a minute. Let's talk about how the Chicago Cubs had a great baseball team this year, and that makes Mrs. Cook very happy. Or we could talk about maybe think about what you did this summer. That's kind of fun. Or maybe what you didn't do this summer. That's kind of sad. So, all right, let's go back to the painting. So, here we go. And we're going to check out what you see first. So, think about this. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Bam! Well, I see the sun first. Why do you think I see the sun first? Well, it's because it's a very big shape. And it's almost entirely by itself. And it is bright red. So it's really easy to see. Well, our eyes want to then see, when they first see a one shape, they want us to see something else that's similar. Maybe some other things that are red, or some other things that are in the same shape. But my eyes see the sun first, and then I look around and I see all the different things that are red. And I come back to the sun. Or maybe you see something that is the same shape. So we have a big circle here, and we have another circle here, and another circle down here. So we can say that he's made us eyes with all these extra black lines in here go around the whole different composition. Okay, now we talked about how we see red going all the way around the composition. Now what about black? Black, you've got this big shape here. Well, I don't see that shape anywhere else really other than next to it. But I see this big black here, and then my eyes come down here and I see black dots here, and I see black dots here, and black dots here, and black dots here, and then I come back and I see black dots there. So he uses black as a very important color as well. Very smart man, very smart. Okay, so we've talked about color, and we've talked a little bit about shape. Now you can't really tell very well in this video here, and I did the best that I could because the light kind of is not the best. But this background, all this brownish color, kind of looks like he's painted it on wood. It kind of has a different texture, and a texture means something that you would think of when you touched it, it would feel on your fingers. So this texture, this background, is a little bit in the sun here, and it's a little bit in here. It almost looks like he's painted it on wood. And he did a lot of this where the background was quite different, and it almost looks like the shapes were on top of it or inside of the background. So that's kind of interesting in what Moreau did. So we don't know what this is. Maybe we have an idea. I kind of thought it was a snowflake, but that doesn't make sense. Well, maybe it's wintertime in the sun. Could be. People go for walks with their dogs in the sun. Maybe this guy tripped on ice. Maybe you have an interesting story that you can think about this. Now let's talk about a color that we didn't talk about yet. What about this color right here? Yellow. It's almost in the middle of the composition, and there's no other yellow in this entire composition. Why do you think he did that? My eye, once I look at this yellow, keeps wanting to go back there. Look away for a minute. Look back at the painting. My eye goes back to the yellow. Does yours too? He wanted us to see that. He thought it was very important. This could even be ears on a dog that's behind the man. Ha! Could be. He's not around. We can't ask him. That's what's kind of fun about art. We can make up our own stories, whether the artist had that story in mind or not. Another cool thing about art. Another cool thing. Okay, so let's talk about Moreau. What do you think about him? Do you think he was a really good artist, or do you think he needs to go back to school? Well, actually, he was a very famous artist. And just like most artists, they learn from each other. So there were artists that were very important that came before him, like Pablo Picasso, maybe you've heard about him, who painted in a cubistic style a lot. And that means that you painted a lot of in triangles and squares and rectangles, which in circles, which Moreau did here, because he was influenced, or he liked a lot of things Picasso did. And then artists that came after Moreau were very famous artists who painted more abstractly, more unrecognizable shapes. And they learned and liked things that Moreau did. So just like us, we learn from the people who came before us, and the people who come after us learn from us. We're all connected, aren't we? So, do you think he's good? Do you think he was a good artist? Do you think he knows to go back to school? Doesn't matter what you think. It's your own opinion. And that's the cool thing about art. So, speaking of art, how about if you make your own composition? Well, I have two examples here. This one was made by an artist who is upcoming second grader, okay? This is her interpretation of a person in the abstract or surrealism, okay? And she was influenced by this painting by Moreau. And then here's another one, kind of goofy and kind of fun, right? Lots of different shapes. Yes, and you can make your own composition. All you need is a piece of paper, and doesn't matter which size, and a measured marker. And so I'm going to turn this over a minute, okay? Just because I don't want to get any messes on here. All right, and I'm going to take out my measured marker. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and draw the body. Okay, so think about what body you would like to draw. Maybe it's a triangle. Maybe it's a rectangle. Maybe it's an organic shape, which is kind of something that has lots of different rounded edges. That's my body. Yeah, it looks weird. That's fun. Okay, now draw a head. And your head can be any shape too. And it can go over on top of your body, overlapping like it does here, or it could just be on top. That's going to be my head. Interesting. Okay, now I think I want to draw some eyeballs. Maybe I'm going to want to make one a circle and one a square. Okay, and then I think I'm going to draw a nose, so people kind of know it's maybe their eyeballs. Okay, and then I think I'm going to make this cone head here. I'm going to give it some hair. Maybe that's his ears. We don't know. Okay, and then I'm going to take this body shape and I'm going to make it into smaller shapes. There you go. Maybe I want a squiggly line in here. Maybe I want another squiggly line in here. Okay, now my weird looking creature's got to have arms, so I'm going to give him an arm here with a hand. And I'm going to give him an arm over here with a hand. And I'm going to give him 2 legs and a couple of feet. Goofy, huh? It's kind of fun. So then I'm going to go back and I'm going to go ahead and color in my shapes. And I don't want all my colors in same color in one spot. So maybe I'll make this blue and this blue over here and maybe this little shape blue here. Then I'm going to go take yellow and make maybe this shape yellow here and this shape. I'm going to spread them out so the colors are balanced. They're all over the composition. So when I make anybody who sees my compositions, eyes travel all around my important parts of my picture plane. Cool, huh? So I would love to see your compositions, your masterpieces. Don't forget to sign your artwork when you're finished. And you can send them to me at lstaworski, STAWARSKI, at ofallon90, of90.net. You know that address. Okay? And I would love to see your paintings. Okay? So, get smart with art. Keep thinking. Keep drawing. Keep painting. Bye-bye.